UFC 300 just took place, and I just want to say, listen, I've been talking a lot of shit of about the UFC in the last few weeks and the events that they've been putting on, because you know how stacked this card was, and essentially, there was almost a 0% chance that this was going to live up to the hype, but my God, it did. It really did live up to the hype. I'm very certain that Dana White is creaming his pants right now, even with the $300,000 bonuses. Maybe that impacted it. I don't know, but holy shit, I just felt compelled to just hop on real quick and just kind of go through an unbelievable card. Unbelievable. You got to give credit where it's due, and certainly the credit is due here, top to bottom. Unbelievable card. Unbelievable. Davison Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt was the first fight of the night. That shit feels like it was like 2 weeks ago at this point. Um, Unreal. Just an unbelievable card. If you have friends who are not MMA fans, if you wanted them to be MMA fans, you should show them this card. But let's just go through it real quick. I'm just going to go through each of the fights. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I've had a couple drinks myself. I'm sure you all have. It's fucking 1:15 in the morning right now. But like I said, I'm on when I'm wired. I'm all jazzed up right now, you might say. First fight of the night, like I said, Davison Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt. Listen, Davison Figueiredo got the W by rear naked choke. It was a great fight overall. Cody Garbrandt, so fast, man, so fast. And the main thing I took away from this, it's sad for Cody that he lost, but obviously it's a high level fight. It's a huge step up from his last couple fights. But more than anything, he didn't get embarrassed in there. Yeah, he got finished, but he didn't get embarrassed in there. And it's not that long ago that he was meme fodder, right? It was Cody no chin and all this shit. He had some moments. It was a fun fight. Unbelievable. Next fight of the night, we've got Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. Bobby Green ended up getting the unanimous decision, but holy shit. Holy shit, what a fight. Um, they're just dogs, man. They're just fucking dogs. Jim Miller, brutal, bleeding everywhere. Two massive gashes on his eye, one literally like on his eyelid, one just below his eye, just gushing blood everywhere. Bobby Green pieced him up. Jim Miller clearly had the power advantage, and he had some moments, but Bobby Green was pretty much in control the whole time. Still, man, unbelievable fight. Just what a war. And hats off to both of them. Unbelievable. Unbelievable second fight of the night. Then, of course, we have our first women's fight. Jessica Andrade. She took on Marina Rodriguez. Pretty good fight. Pretty good fight. It was a split decision. I don't know how that's possible. I thought that was a fucking weird scorecard. Whoever scored it for Marina Rodriguez, I don't buy that for a fucking second. But yeah, Jessica Andrade just did better, man. Whenever it ended up on the ground, she just took control. Marina Rodriguez was piecing her the fuck up on the feet, though. So just a kind of one trick pony, unfortunately. But still a fun fight, still a great fight. A little bit of like a cool down, let's say, right after two. Well, the first fight was decent. The second fight was unbelievable. And then you get a little bit of a kind of a cool down, still a decent fight, right? And then the fourth fight of the night, we had Renato Moicano taking on Jalen Turner. I had Jalen Turner winning this. I believe Dino Bam Bam did too. But man, hats off to Renato Moicano. Just outclassed him on the ground. Outclassed him. Really went for it. Jalen Turner, man, I was just a little disappointed. It was a little bit disappointing. Kind of just gave up at the end. And knowing that it's UFC 300, knowing the stakes that are on the line here, it's I don't know. It's one of those where maybe it makes me think a little bit less of him, And he's a my boy. I love him. I love Renato Moicano too. I thought the Tarantula would end up catching him with something and probably knocking him out, TKO type of finish. But fuck, man. Hats off to Renato Moicano. For as much English as he knows, I love that he's embraced the American dream, the American lifestyle too. It endears him to, I feel like, a wide array of fans. But shit, man. He's great on the mic. He cuts a decent ass promo. And he got a nice finish, man, versus a very, very high level opponent. Jalen Turner, that record is starting to look a little bit, 14-8. That's not great. Renato Moicano moves up to 19-5-1. It is what it is. And then holy shit, performance of the night right here, or at least one of them for sure. Diego Lopez taking on Sadiq Youssef. Holy shit. I can't remember the last time we saw Sadiq Youssef look like that. I don't know that anybody's made him look quite like that. Diego Lopez looked unbelievable. I've been high on him, for a while. If you watch the show, you know that. Even before he became what he is, before that first fight, I thought he was really good. He lost. He had that loss to Joanderson Brito. Obviously, that ended up being a pretty good loss, all things considered. But holy shit, he went in there and on the feet, gave it to Sadiq Youssef. I thought if there was a chance for Sadiq Youssef to win this fight, it would be in the first round, and it would be him pressuring and him, just being a little bit better on the feet. I had respect for Diego Lopez's game, but shit, I guess I didn't have enough respect for it because. Damn, I wasn't familiar with this game like that. Like he's got that like Poatan kind of power where it's like, what the fuck? Like it didn't look like he touched him with much, and then all of a sudden you're fucking on the floor. But unbelievable performance, first round finish. Just there was not a second in the fight where it didn't look like he was about to run through his ass. So just unbelievable. Yeah, holy shit, this was a card, man. Moving on, next fight, Kayla Harrison, Holly Holm, probably the worst fight of the night as far as entertainment level. Kayla Harrison did end up getting the win in round 2 by rear naked choke, beating a 42-and-a-half-year-old Holly Holm, 9-year age difference. If you watch the breakdown videos and the betting videos, we kind of expected this exact finish, right? Kayla Harrison just so goddamn strong. Props to her for making the weight, to cut down 20 pounds when you're that jacked, to be 40 pounds away from where you competed in, the damn Olympics and shit, like, or as a judoka, winning every possible, she's really good. She's really good. It's just a boring division. Unfortunately, it is what it is, but kind of a boring fight overall. Like I said, probably the most boring. Not much else to say there. So, next fight, Aljamain Sterling, man. You guys know, if you watch the channel, if you watch the shows, you know that Dino Bam Bam Aljamain Sterling is one of his guys. I like Aljamain, don't get me wrong, but man, I didn't give him enough respect. Totally outclassed Calvin Kattar. Show that there's levels to this shit. And it wasn't just being a backpack, because that was a suit, right? If you're not a casual, or even if you know Aljo at all, right? How would you think he's going to win this? You think he's going to be a human backpack, live up to the nickname, or just in general in the grappling? But no, man. He looked fast. He looked jacked. He's not the tallest guy, right, at 5'7", but fuck, man, he filled out nicely. What is there to say? The power seems increased. I think this is a good weight class for him. I like it. Unanimous decision, quite clear. I mean, there was never really a point where Calvin Kattar looked like he was in control. I think it's just it's more than anything. Calvin Kattar's good, right? But he's got great takedown defense, amazing boxing, but. To me, man, the biggest thing here is like there's levels, right? Aljamain Sterling wasn't that long ago. He was pound for pound one of the best in the world. So, and perennially and always, even when he was a champ. Yeah, and I get it why, for some reasons, but hey, man, you can't discount him too much. Aljamain Sterling's unbelievable performance. So, next fight, and holy shit, this fight. Man, this was such a fun one. I'm talking about Jiri Prochazka. He took on, of course, Alexander Rakic. Ended up winning by ground and pound in the second round. He was getting his ass beat in the first round. And pretty badly. Right off the bat, took some big leg kicks. That front leg was just torn to shit. I know Yuri's kind of, he's very unorthodox in general, but you could tell that shit impacted him right away. I was very nervous for him. I like Jiri. I like Alexander Rakic too. I respect his game. I don't think either of these guys, even though Rakic lost, I don't think it took too much away from his luster and who he is as a fighter. Fuck, what a fight. So first round, Jiri was pretty much getting his ass beat, got the leg chewed up. Just looked super wobbly. Literally, to me, it looked like, I know he's unorthodox and shit. To me, it looked like he literally couldn't stand on that leg damn near. So to recover and end up getting that TKO, that was unbelievable. Props to Alexander Rakic. There were several times I thought the fight could have been called. I'm glad it wasn't, even though obviously it did end up being a finish in one of those positions on the ground. But good for him for at least trying to scramble out of it. There's just something missing, right? For Rakic. I don't know if it's like you just don't got that dog in him, or is it the cardio? I don't think it's the cardio, but like it's something. But holy shit, man, the guy's a goddamn killer on the feet, absolute sniper, big power, great speed, great kicks for the division. The dude is terrifying. But you love to see it. Yuri making a comeback after the loss to Poatan last time out. He was winning that fight in the first round, so say what you will. He certainly looked a lot better than Jamal Hill did tonight, which I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, moving on to the main card. Bo Nickal took on Cody Brundage. First time Bo Nickal's taken on somebody who is actually a respectable wrestler. And for the first, round, Cody Brundage did pretty good, right? I think Bo Nickal, in a way, was exposed a little bit on the feet. I know he had a couple knockouts the last two fights, but I really don't think that that's who he is. I think as they're lower level opponents. And I get it. He was 5-0, moved up to 6-0 now. Beat Cody Brundage by rear naked choke in the second round. Props to Cody Brundage. If you haven't seen the interview with him, check it out. He did better than I thought. I'll be honest with you. But Bo Nickal, he is the real deal. I do think we'll see what kind of jump up in competition he takes. Who did he call out? Oh man, who was it? That's going to bother me now. Fuck. Well, I don't want to waste time doing that now, but damn, it was an interesting call out. I forgot who it was, but it was a substantial step up. So we'll see. I doubt the UFC gives him somebody super high ranked up right now. It seems like they're trying to build him up slowly, keep the hype going, get him a bunch of finishes. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, good performance by Cody Brundage. I did respect Bo Nickal. He's obviously been booed a lot in the build up to the fight at the press conference and all this stuff. I did respect him. And it's interesting because I literally thought this to myself. If I was being booed, I would do, and I thought this a few days ago because of Bo Nickal. I was thinking about that. And what I was thinking is exactly what he did tonight. And I thought that was interesting. Is after the fight when he hopped on the mic and he said, I'll win you guys all over. So I think that's a cool way to go about that. I respect that. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I do think he's legit. I think he was a little bit exposed on the feet. I don't think he's like a knockout artist. I don't think that's going to be something at these mid to higher to high level fighters, especially on the feet. I just don't see him doing that, consistently. But hell, we'll see what happens. Obviously, the UFC likes him. They're going to keep building him up. So next fight, and this is one that broke Dino Bam Bam's heart, of course. And I'm talking about Arman Tsarukyan. He took on Charles Oliveira. If you haven't seen, by the way, on our Instagram at V107MMA, just like our handle here on YouTube, Dino Bam Bam dyed or bleached his damn fucking beard blonde, like straight, like in solidarity with Charles Oliveira and some of the other Shoot the Box guys. Shoot the Box actually reposted it. So again, at V107MMA, you can check that out. It was a hell of a fight, man. It was a hell of a fight. Arman Tsarukyan ended up getting the split decision win. I was a little bit shocked by the split decision. I guess DC and Joe Rogan were talking about it. Like, I guess when you're scoring that fight, the question is how much do you value submission attempts? But even with that, damage has to be the first determining factor in terms of the scoring, at least by their own book, right? It was a tough fight. Arman Tsarukyan, just a better wrestler, man, And Charles, he's a good enough grappler in terms of his jiu-jitsu, and he's strong. He's strong as hell, man, Arman is. Charles tried to throw some submissions up. He almost had a Darce, or he almost had a guillotine. So, he had some moments. He won a round and a half, whatever you want to call it. Just in a lower sense of the word, he was outclassed. Arman Tsarukyan, I don't think he was ever really in trouble, even with the Darce choke towards the end of the round, when it looked like he might be out, but he was not. I don't know. It was interesting, but Arman Tsarukyan, man, the real deal. I guess he is one of the few in the weight class that's well-rounded enough to see, it might be interesting to see what he can do versus Islam, especially since he did give him a decent fight, when they were both much earlier in their careers. He moves up to 22-3. I mean, he's legit. He's here to stay. There's no question about that. Charles Oliveira, man, fuck, you hate to see it. We'll see what happens with him, man. We'll see what happens with Charles next. But he'll still stick around. Part of me would have loved to see that Islam rematch first. I know Dino Bandman would have definitely preferred that, but hell, it is what it is, man. This is a fight game. It's unforgiving. Moving on. Quick swiggy. And this is where the title fights start, right? So we had, and I'm not a fan of the BMF title by any means, but BMF title, Max Holloway taking on Justin Gaethje. First of all, Max Holloway, I've been saying this all week, looked really good. Clearly took the time to put on legitimate muscle. Wasn't fat. Like, the dude was he looked like a true 155er. And in terms of the competition, he's taking on one of the most dangerous people on the planet, Justin Gaethje. Fuck, man. I mean, what a fucking war this was. You got to give it to Justin Gaethje. We had an unfortunate couple incidents early in the fight where Max Holloway accidentally poked both eyes on 2 different occasions of Justin Gaethje. Fuck, you hate to see that kind of stuff. It is what it is. But towards the end of the first round, which was a fairly close round, Max Holloway was winning it. Spinning kick, which he's gotten like really good at the tight quarters spinning kicks, which is interesting. Justin ducked down, caught it right on his nose. I'm pretty sure it broke his nose. Clearly obstructed his breathing. You could hear him telling his corner too. His nose is totally blocked up. And then, I mean, if you know anything about striking sports, right? You wear a mouth guard. Everything's tight. Right? You're clenching, and it makes a big difference. If you're sitting there breathing through your mouth, now you're like this, mouth open. It makes a huge difference, right? Now you're much more susceptible to shots. But man, Max Holloway, shit, dude. I mean, aside from first of all, Justin Gaethje, first person to drop Max Holloway, that's pretty cool too. But this was a fucking war. Max Holloway never really looked in trouble aside from that one moment where he got dropped briefly. Props to Gaethje, man. He's a goddamn warrior. Part of me was like, I was texting Dito Bear. I'm like, I really hope this dude doesn't retire or some stupid ass shit like that. But fuck, what a fight. I was literally like jumping up and down, screaming at this. Max Holloway is unbelievable. For what it's worth, he wants Ilia Topuria in the crowd. Looked a little bit scared. I don't know. He looked a little shook. Max Holloway, one of the best performances of his career. And we know what he did to Calvin Kattar. But first of all, let me just say this. Max Holloway always does all right, like towards the end of the fight, like, all right, let's fucking stand and bang, right? But to do it against a guy up a weight class, and it's not just a guy, it's fucking Justin Gaethje. To do that with Justin Gaethje up a weight class, sure, he had taken a lot of damage, say what you will, but shit, man, to do that after you arguably won 4 rounds, 4-1, like, that's just fucking nuts, man. Unbelievable. Max Holloway, something else. What is there to say? I feel bad for Justin Gaethje, but shit, that was crazy. Moving on. Co-main event of the evening, Zhang Weili taking on Yan Xiaonan. First time you have 2 Chinese fighters in a title fight in the UFC. Just a really, really good fight. I expected this to be mostly a decision win by Zhang Weili, but that really wasn't the case. Yan Xiaonan does have a glaring weakness in her grappling and her wrestling. But shit, man, she throws bombs. She's got legit power. She's big for the weight class. Looked so much bigger than Zhang Weili. But just the grappling and the wrestling, not there. Crazy moment in this one. She was literally put to sleep, like actually fucking fully asleep at the last seconds of the first round. And then just kind of popped back up. And so, holy shit, props to her. She was literally finished. Like, imagine you just woke up from a nap and now you have 4 more rounds with the GOAT pound for pound women's fighter. Unbelievable. Ended up going to decision. Zhang Weili got the unanimous decision, but she really gassed out after the first 2 rounds, which I was kind of shocked to see, knowing her as a fighter and the discipline and training and all the shit that we've seen from her in the past. But holy shit, that was actually a much better fight competitively than I expected it to be. I thought Zhang Weili would, for the most part, walk over her. Wasn't the case. Yan Xiaonan is legit. She should get back in the gym, though, and really work on that wrestling. Because if she can be a little bit more well-rounded, man, sky's the limit. So, unbelievable fight, though. For a co-main event on this card, loved it. Anyway, main event of the evening. Jamal Hill's my boy. I like Poatan, too. But DC said during the fight, it was like, obviously, it was a first-round knockout, if you don't know by now. Brutal knockout. It wasn't like a one-punch walk-off, but... And then the celebration of Poatan just being like, this is your king, with the little like this. And Jamal's just sleep on the ground. What a visual. That's one of the coldest. Well, first of all, So what I was trying to say is DC said you saw the exact moment where he decided that Jamal Hill ain't shit in terms of the power coming back his way, and I thought the same thing. So I think DC put that perfectly. Uh, and then Jamal Hill literally nut shotted him, and the ref is coming in to be like, yo, chill. Poatan waves his ass off, like literally just like nah, and is like, I'm just gonna knock this guy out real quick, back the fuck up, and then violently knocked him out. I genuinely think that check left hook of his is the single most dangerous punch, strike, anything in the history of the UFC and probably MMA. It's fucking crazy. Like you just don't think it's he doesn't fucking wind it up. It just comes. It's a quick turnover and you're fucking sleeping, dude. Did Jamal Hill come back too soon? I don't know. It was a little embarrassing, I gotta say. Still my boy, still believe in him. I still think he'll stick around at the top 5 of this division, but now all of a sudden, Yuri, Rakic, those are fights to make potentially. Jan is there, but before maybe I would have leaned for sure with Jamal Hill. Now it's kind of a question mark, but yeah, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time. If you're watching this, thanks for tuning in. Unfucking believable card, UFC 300. It's a damn shame that we're not getting UFC 400. Was it worth all the shitty cards to start the year? Probably. Genuinely, probably. And I never thought I'd say that or feel that way. But in any case, thanks for tuning in. This was the 10-7 MMA UFC 300 post-fight show. Please let us know how you feel. Let me know your comments. Let me know what you thought about the card. Follow us on Instagram at the 10-7MMA. Like and subscribe. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.